And welcome back. Northstar here with another episode of my Pop-Up Dungeon Let's Play. Now, for those of you watching, I know there's not many of you. I apologize in advance. I am going to start this off with one round in the holograph. There are a few reasons for this. It provides resources which can upgrade the ship. It helps the party level up. Mechanically in the game. My reason for this is partly it'll make these battles a little less stressful for me. I do want to continue on Galaxy Brain, I think, but just lower the difficulty an eensy bit by having my party be a little more leveled up. And Super Grandmaster be too far down, and probably less interesting for you guys at this point. So I hope that's okay. I'd also like to show the choices of holograph companions. By the way, this text says, warning, safeties are off. A little bit for you there. Can die in the holograph, or at least Goliath can. You just load a checkpoint if your whole party gets wiped. I'll do one more abilities in case I roll something good. So, I'll do this and then probably take a quick look at upgrades and get to the next system, because that's the real excitement here, isn't it, guys? If you're watching this, I know not many people watch through beyond starting this, please, I'm asking you to consider liking, subbing, subscribing. I hate to sound, well, I don't know. I know people hate being asked to do that kind of stuff. But I am relying partly on hoping this channel grows, which these things help with the algorithm, to have any chance of being able to support myself when my savings run out. I have long COVID. I'm definitely too sick to be able to work. I really struggle to be alert for more than a few hours each day. You guys see my streaming is usually my entire energy for a day, and I just go to bed or lie down until I can, because I reach what might be called like a mind zero state. Still awake, but I can't think at all. It's bad. It's not a fun disease. I've tried to speak out, whether on social media or elsewhere, about we really need funding for a cure for it, but it's just not happening because politicians are greedy and don't want to raise taxes on the rich to pay for it, and no one else can afford to pay higher taxes. So millions and millions of people around the world, 65 million, have had their lives ruined by long COVID. 65 million people at least. There's no effort to cure it, but that's stressful for you guys, so I won't talk more about it. Just consider, dropping a like to help the channel grow if you're able. I really appreciate it. Thanks. Right, now. She could stay further back if she's there, actually. She's low in the turn order this time. Interesting. If they push their Brock, X dodges back. Geisha's here. There's a Chimera. Not the toughest. This thing, it's a wall. Very hard to kill, thanks to Rockbach. And its evasion isn't crazy. Actually, this power level, it's not so bad. It just scales up as you go. Ring specific defense. Strength and weakness is defense. I seem to remember this being harder. Maybe it's just its earth power makes this scale. I may be overestimating this group. There's a towel, 2 of these, and a Kodiak bear. This has got higher armor pen. Can heal itself, can deal some damage. passive swipe if you try and if you get too close to it. Yeah. So Ricky will get a clear shot. James is behind. I should probably be there. Gene behind him. Cool.
I'm gonna be captain someday.
I doubt this fight will lead to a TPK, even if I'm not playing great. And I apologize, I'm not playing great. Had a rough day.
Taste the training.
Couldn't really focus earlier. I fight with family. Basically with a family member and a lot of little obnoxious things this person is doing. And then, oh, if you can stream. I really struggle just to find the energy to do this without having people at, like, they can exploit more from me. Demand I do more for them when I'm already doing what I can. Anyhow. Toxic people, but I'd be even worse off without the housing that provides. So. Alright. Only 1,000 orb? I thought he did more. It's less the next time. Yeah, that's the thing. Some bows like this are a little less effective each time you use them. Just turn into a super wall, I guess.
Long have I wrought man.
Okay. That's on cooldown.
Customers always right.
Get rid of this for this. I doubt things can get through Brock in one turn. Leave him be. Should say this was I switched out. He used to have a speed potion. Now he's got a blue potion. Eventually, I'll switch out some other trinket. I haven't figured out a really good trinket to give this variant of X. Oh, that's my fan on my laptop running. Annoyingly high. I didn't think it would be, so. This game isn't that demanding, but streaming. So I apologize to anyone who's hearing that. It usually comes on for like a second, then stops. I really don't know why this is being so loud, though. That's so I could go hard. You can use this twice, so I don't know. Maybe not go hard and just take shape directly. And they don't know how to get through here. They should be destroying, like, terrain. Oh, there we go. It's the way through. Right now, this is in the way. I almost forgot about this little buddy. Summon an imp. He can jump forward, but he has to have a line of sight. So this isn't a great place if he does take damage. Of course, at that point X would be out of the way, I hope. Alright. Let's reposition him. Alright then. This thing has such high defense that, yeah, didn't take much damage from walking on that.
Time to put my training to the test.
Alright then. That doesn't kill him, I'll be in tough luck, so that also gives haste to him. Increase the chances he can roll some abilities more than once. He did not succeed, though, in that roll. It's hostile, but it's not. I ate up one of its rock blocks that way. Not actually a damaging ability. Whatever.
The elements do my bidding.
Also, a little synergy I designed this character, you guys might have noticed. 5 AP for that. 8 AP for Phoenix Feather. Made this unusually expensive so that when all his other abilities have been mostly reduced to almost nothing. And the other one is 3 for this. They can cast a Flame Blade and fan the flames on someone, and that's enough to revive. Characters he's presumably lit on fire earlier.
Now, let's make this quick.
Yeah, they almost got through the Satanic defense already. Wish we'd use his charm shield first, but alright. I need Brakti out of the way so other characters can get in the fight soon. As far as he's getting.
Slinging guns is my business.
One of his other characters being X. Alright. Yeah. There's no point in gamma bursting.
We done talking? Sure, buddy. I'll witness you.
Notice he doesn't heal despite the life 7 because he can't get through the shield. Doing it mostly for the speed. The fault line. Oh, it's a field, that's permanent, so he better actually get off of it. Take damage if he starts his turn on it. Until that thing's dead, that'll be in the way.
Dust you.
Gives him some mobility and speed. But just as importantly,
Oh, let's stretch those legs.
it does damage over time as well. Could have tried to anchor gun it. He only has one use 1 round. An anchor gun's basically a one-shot gun. Main purpose is armor pen besides that. It comes with debuff to magical power. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. Could redesign the equipment to be a little better, I suppose. James still could use more speed. I'll sanctify him too. And there goes his shield. Stolen. And he's dead.
What are you, like, goal-oriented or something? Why? Yeah.
It's your yen.
Time for a little healing. Over time, but I need to charm soon, but I'll have Gouliet try to give help here. And that'll last until its next turn. What a...
I will be right there. Please enjoy.
Couldn't move back because of its mobility being crushed. Did a little damage to her and made her so she can't move though. No mobility left. That was a Talon Strike. One of the Towel's abilities. Brought maybe a wall, but there are limits to how much you can absorb. Tank, wall, whatever. Alright. The choke points in this map are a problem. Wrath can't really go anywhere. Do that because I don't want the indiscriminate rage hurting anyone. My party.
Dust you. Let's see where this lunch break takes us. There's a storm on the horizon. A wizard is never late. Barliness, I invoke you.
Damage over time.
Strike precisely where I mean to.
I believe the shield will expire just in time for that to start hurting the towel. It won't kill it critically.
Tread the path, need tutoring.
It doesn't matter if he turns his back.
Anyone want to buy a gun?
Just want him out of danger. Actually, these guys get past when I move the towel and kill the geisha, or the towel later, the charm wear off. Alright. Don't want him dying.
Try a free sip.
He's got 17 speed now.
Press to move. Skin it to win it.
Some damage over time. Probably should have gamma burst in. Oh well.
You're not gonna like this.
Oop. Darn it. Try again.
These elven eyes have seen much suffering. Eternal dawn, I call upon your hearts.
Fierce. Oh jeez. That's right. She was still in range for that. Darn. Well. It's taking some damage over time. It's not all gone. Steal some of that defense. Dead's dead.
I gotta do with my news? I'm just a merchant, honest.
Hmm.
These guns are going fast. Satisfaction guaranteed. Try a free sample. Dust you.
Trying to kill this towel because it won't be on my team much longer.
Let's move some merch. Try a free sample.
It needs to do more damage to use that. Alright.
Stretch those legs. Dust you.
I could have dispelled buff. Oops. Should have done that. Oh well.
Where is my hat?
As I said, it's been a rough day. Making my share of mistakes.
I move with the wind. I still have faith in man.
Also, my days don't really line up, so if some of you look at a clock on when this is posted, I'm awake and asleep weird hours. So, don't get the wrong idea when I say a rough day. Anyhow,
Power is ancient.
um,
Flames consume you. You are but kindling to the fire.
this thing is phenomenal against Earth, so Brock can't really damage it, and X doesn't really have good angles on it. So I'm relying on fire. Ooh, this is surprising. If he gets a crit, I die.
What madness is this?
Oof, he barely survived there. All that damage over time. Got through all his shields. Killing the Chimera would help, though. Maybe you could do that with... It would just push him if he got closer. That removes all the damage over time he was suffering. By the way, Quantonium and Plex I got for that. He does benefit from...
The darkness will
I mean,
not
I do benefit from this in terms of getting resources.
Don't go too far. Eternal dawn will call upon your light.
Cool, yeah, got enough form duration to ever come out here. No point risking her, even though it's not that dangerous. Uh,
こちらへどうぞ。
oh, it's dead. I'm good.
That was easy.
I won, although Brock is hurt and Ricky died, so he'll start off at only partial health next
So
fight.
this is the fat loot everyone was telling me about.
But
Looking
worked
for
out.
this.
Sanctify it with my touch.
Nope.
The legend continues.
Could you clean this off for me, please?
I'm just making sure I didn't accidentally replace James' sword. Sometimes you'll do that when you double click. I think it's going to sell something, it doesn't.
By putting their gear to use.
X can reduce enemies' cover, so if he has enough aim, he might be able to get through the cover of some enemies. Rely on that.
Let me put some mileage on that and upsell it to a sentry. So this is the fat loot everyone was telling me about. More firepower. Time for some explosive action. That is a rich law.
That's not very good.
Nice
Prone doesn't have lots of physical power. Just gonna sell this regardless.
Knowledge is power. That's not bad either. Man looking for this.
Indulge me.
More firepower.
Could you clean this?
Man looking for this.
She picked up wild growth, light reading. She's supposed to have a third? Oh, she's already at max 10 abilities. 5 from her equipment. We should start with 2 more. Okay.
Could you clean this off for me, please?
So this is the fat loot everyone was telling me about.
Light reading isn't terrible, but spell steal is probably better for her. So it's an actual upgrade. This can occasionally confuse attacks, but it's a great way to get a character in trouble.
Hey, it's my birthday. More firepower. Hey, it's my birthday.
This has less variance, but limited uses. I'm not sure I would take it this time. It hits slightly harder. He's not going to get melee that often. I can upgrade it to 5 uses, so it's not that limited. Yeah, on average, this is probably better. Alright.
Let me put some mileage on that and upsell it to a sensory endpoint.
The game really doesn't like tail whip, but it's useful for orienting him towards enemies who get behind him, so he can still use light footwork and can push him away. And deals a little damage. It's an excellent ability for his build.
Hey, it's my
Indulge.
Wish it would stop trying to suggest I replace it. Spell Steal has a shorter range than Light Reading, but I can upgrade that. Limited uses, but enemy buffs are often very, very nasty. Of course, the really nasty ones have such high potency. That Spell Steal might not actually matter that much. Actually, I guess I'll leave her. What she's got. Let's solve this.
name your price, put some mileage on
That is a rich law, disciple.
Now with some focus, this might actually be effective in James' hands. As opposed to a limited use heal. It requires objects. It's only really useful if enemies get through his defenses.
Allow me. So this is the fat loot everyone was telling me about.
This is a self-yaoi. It's not good.
That's not bad either. I could use a new staff to lead the pump. So this is the fat loot everyone was telling me about. You have money for this.
Alright, and a towel. Well, it has ability to fly over things, so it's probably a better companion because it can position itself. So I guess that'll be my new holographic companion. Guys, now, I apologize that fight took a little while. Try and make this upgrades quick, users, viewers, audience, and then we will proceed to the next system. Just don't think as quickly as I would like to. Armaments and jetpack are pretty good. Arms. And the crafting station is useful for a few events, but the other thing about it is that its highest levels, it lets you roll better equipment. The jetpack isn't useful till the very end. So let's see, to upgrade this I need 10 sub, 5 ferro. And the other higher levels would similarly be heavy on. Alright, so just need quantonium and subisomer, especially subisomer. I also know things, obviously, those of you watching don't, including what system I'm thinking of jumping to next. And part of the reason I'm doing this training is it's a particularly difficult system. So anything I can do to give myself a little bit advantage in the fights, hence the training. Oh, that really scales up. It's expensive. That would help me get better equipment, but I can't afford that. Oh, combat systems. Can't afford anything more. Well, upgrade's an upgrade. That may help slightly with some of the future fights. Now, you guys have seen the nebula here before. Japan is a cool one. I'll probably do that next, but and leave the nebula for last because those who've seen it will be at least fresh in your memory at that point. But this has some references to the system I was just in. Technically, still I'm in. Haven't jumped out yet. Well, it's the first time I did this one before the one I just did, and there are references. So I'm assuming it might play out slightly differently if I do it this way, but there's a treat in here for you guys. But there's some difficult fights. Why does it have to be hard? All of the most accessible door molecules have already been claimed. Correct. We're at least able to determine the molecules within the asteroid field. How big is the asteroid field? And which astronomical measurement would you prefer? I render the answer. I don't know. Whatever you think, I'll understand. The field has a diameter of about 1.26 million miles, which is nearly 1.5 times the size of the Sun. I assume the sun isn't, I mean, it's big, but that would be an extremely small asteroid belt. Have you seen a map of our solar system? Asteroid belts out between Mars and Jupiter. Very spread out, but also the diameter of it is thousands of times that of the Sun. So this would be a small asteroid belt. It's roughly spherical in shape and abnormally dense. Well, at least it's not spread out in a ring around the local star. That's how asteroid belts usually are. A ring distribution would make it far easier to locate the Dural. Dear Diary, today I almost saw the bright side of things. but the voice in my head said no. And Ricky's a pessimist. I understand why you would say that. Subrostral interference. We are detecting some minor subrostral interference. It's possible that there is a cloaked ship in the vicinity. Subrostrum is like smaller than quantum. In the game, it's made up physics, I think, but I don't know. I don't know anything much smaller than quantum physics, and the string theory exists. A little bit about its premises, but it's only because it was so big in the media for a while. I know much more cursory knowledge of string theory and a bit more of quantum physics, because it actually surprisingly has roles in some parts of biology, which you would not expect, but it does. When you're looking at very, very small chemical molecular interactions, sometimes there's things that somehow have come to rely on some of those phenomena, which is amazing and not expected. But the body, evolution is a clever beast. The scarab has to gloat without opening fire and is hailing. At least they can't cloak while they're talking. Greetings and salutations, owner. The Otex is spongy mint. Spongy what? That appears to be a Valrath, a species in the second ring that is reported to be clairvoyant. Rings are the rings around the galaxy that relate to like that, or around the universe that relate to the like FTL drives in this campaign. Am I right to assume you are here in search of the Dural? You can attack him. You're not right to assume because can't think of any reason to come a rock pile system like this. Could I? But you plan to sift these stones? If you plan to sift these stones, allow me to offer a warning. An ancient evil hides among the rocks. I'd be more specific if I could, but my ability to sense temporal echoes was never very keen. By your leave, we will seek our fortune elsewhere. The evil you're sensing, I know it is. You can attack him. I'm really not sure why you would. It's just a vicious thing to do. Sure, you might get resources, but fine. By me. Good luck. The scarab melts into space between stars. It's gone from sight at least. The adjutant approaches the edge of a dense asteroid field. Dense is right. Real asteroid fields, the asteroids are kilometers apart. That is, the closest distance between any two asteroids is like 2 to 3 kilometers. Because it's black and void of space, you wouldn't usually even be able to see the other asteroids from the surface of one. It's not enough albedo, and there'd be only like, if they were shiny, you'd only see maybe 1 or 2 off in the distance. They're not nearly as dense as like in Star Wars. The adjutant approaches the edge of a dense asteroid field. You maneuvered around a few larger asteroids, but the rocks ahead are too small and too tightly clustered to push the ship any further. Like they said, abnormally dense. What are our options? Very limited. The density and composition of the rocks makes weaponry a poor choice. A poor option. That's mine. Boosting the shields and plowing through would take 2.4 sidereal years and the maximum safe speed. Or at the maximum safe speed. I recommend pinging the field from multiple positions in an attempt to triangulate the Dural's signal. And then what? Then we would move the adjutant as close to the location as possible and flag a fishbowl. If that is a comfortable way of saying put on a spacesuit into the asteroid field, then yes. Oh no. I didn't upgrade the jetpacks at all. How am I even supposed to maneuver out there without a jetpack? After triangulating the Dural's location, you find a nice, shady crater to park in. Perform a quick, ocular pat-down to ensure this crater is not home to an enormous worm, Star Wars reference, as you disembark. It's It's going to be a long track with nothing but the sound of your own breathing and the hiss of a jetpack to keep you company. You consider speaking to mine for fun, and immediately gripped by the fear that you may be succumbing to space madness. Parentheses. It's been 4 minutes. A relative clearing. The field becomes less dense ahead. You pass into a clearing where most of the small rocks have accreted into a larger asteroid. The light of the distant sun is broken by 1,000 shuffling stones. The resulting shadows look almost aquatic. A cluster of glints catches your eyes in the deep distance. This is a reference to like Arkham Horror. I'm trying to remember the guy who Ancient Evils, squid-like things. Hell, in World of Warcraft, they made a whole bloody expansion to like a game. I guess I never played it in the Hearthstone thing, the old gods ticks way back in the day. I used to play that game. Never put a cent into it, so it was free to play entirely for me, but it's a game that was kind of pay to win. Anyways,
Looking to unload some guns.
an ancient evil is correct. Something.
That time I drank too much hyperdrive cleaner.
Energy power that should have been an easiest to roll, but I failed it. FOD. You think with all the technology someone would develop nano-quantum dark energy powered anti-fogging. But no. You're as blind as a snorkel in sauna, as Mind calmly announces a squad of one-man ships is closing in on your location. Galaxy Brain, this could be a TPK very easily. Where's the enemy? I can't see a thing. Our aim may be impaired. You don't say. Oh.
Hey, what are we grilling? What's mine is mine. Okay, jumper, eh?
That was voiced. Almost nothing in this game is voiced. That's unusual. Respond, I'm no claim jumper. Be one of those crazed cultists then? Given the choices, I guess I'm a claim jumper. I'm pretty sure the party will suffer an aim debuff. Yep. And initiative. It's going to make this fight very hard. I did buff X's aim before. Even so, he's at minus 36%. Jane can buff people's aim a little. So that maybe X has a fighting chance of landing a shot. Sanctify him.
Who needs saving?
Customers always or dead.
These guys didn't roll ahead of any of my party initiative except Gouliet, the Towel, and the Geisha. And of course the lunch break, thankfully. Despite my initiative penalty. Couple moon strikes, jump, spell steal, and a talent strike, which immobilizes enemies and moves out of range while dealing some damage. Fun. Not the best campaign, but less likely to get trapped behind a front line. This is one of the most open battle maps, so it's not going to be very relevant here.
Time to put my training to the test.
Oh, gee. I'm just a murderer.
So we can use Hull Breacher to reduce heal and receive, then Mining Beam, Siphon, and heal. GI Quad has a lot of armor pen. It is not an easy enemy, but the real power here is not even this thing. Oh, its drones can be a pain. It's the Mercury. This, with its high haste, could easily wipe my entire party. And it will dodge behind that front line there.
I hate this part. Looking to unload some guns.
Should probably actually put X
Fully loaded.
way up there.
Ouch! I'm not used to all this darkness.
Uh,
Hope I make a good first impression.
he's got a back shot. He can probably wipe this guy out in one turn. Doesn't have that much evasion. Probably.
You're not gonna like this. Let's make this quick.
Should I need him to be able to close quick? Maybe block the way to Jane. Alright.
These elven arms have seen much suffering.
Effort is the magic of man.
It's gonna hang way back. It becomes an unappealing target. Apologize for that. The person I'm staying with is expressing the rage as just constantly mad, and then accuses others of being that by slamming doors and otherwise being problematic. Really nothing I can do about that. Right. No, he'll just get shot long before I think he even gets in range. I suppose the geisha can be there. James can at least flame blade Goliath. Or maybe the geisha, actually.
It's your yam.
Effort is the magic of man.
Give her a little more speed.
Let's see where this lunch break takes us. Slinging guns is my business.
If the enemy enrolled more F9 Mercuries, I would be in serious trouble. I think he has a line of sight right to when it dodges. It's got multiple of those, though. It's got great mobility, so it's not like I can easily
Press to move.
its best bet is to try and outright kill it. And failed.
Time to exceed expectations.
That thing can just shoot through my party. Kill multiple characters in one turn. It's nasty.
This is gonna look great on my resume.
He's better buffing himself. Talus is not that tough of a character. If he dies, it won't matter anyways. I agree, that is minor damage. Even with that being all its evasion, you can't so much as stun it. Darn it.
You're not gonna like this.
So much for one turn in these things.
Mind the blade. The scrap. Watch the hoe. Come on, you bucket of rust.
Long have I watched man.
Does have phenomenal power. And that roll an 18. That's not gonna bump it up anywhere in the turn order. Yeah, we'll actually try and buff the Tau. TL. Tiger Owl Hybrid.
I'm not used to all this darkness.
Oh man, I'm in trouble here. Alright. She needs to get back as much as she can. Maybe give my party decent aim. That's not even gonna.
Tread lightly. Feel the light course through your mortal veins.
Good, she rolled ability to use that twice.
Free to die, I'll resurrect you.
Not gonna be able to stop him going down, but I may be able to stop him from
This is what I
dying as quick.
She's not built for speed. Your cargo.
deal with.
Navigate it. Let's
Number
see.
one in
your
customer
fit.
service.
She's not built for speed. What's mine is mine.
Engaging.
Forward. Think inside.
Oh no.
For speed.
Is here. Go make friends. Playtime. Come along now.
Hey, who's for barbecue? Down for some fancy flying.
Didn't even save him from one hit. It's because Jean's promise ability is considered ranged, so it's far less effective than normal. And there go two of my frontline fighters.
Think you can ride with me? Ooh, that'll leave a mark.
That immobilized him. A lot of his stuff it only works on perpendiculars, so that saved James from getting killed. Can't dodge out of the way either when he's... Huh? It still has enough mobility. Oh well. At least it's fragile.
Rodeo's over.
That's all that can be said for that thing. This thing just guards and shields, but this deals substantial damage. Suppressing fire is a problem for trying to get close with Gouliet. Besides, Brock is my real melee fighter. The aim being what it is, that's the problem.
You cut a deep bit. Trash tashes rust to dust.
That doesn't turn Jean back, though. She's stuck as this. She dies super easy. And then the overflow goes in her health. She's as good as dead. Alright. Gouliet dead, so I'm pulling her as far back as I can. At least the shield buoy is not the strongest.
You fix it.
Just didn't have the AP to do suppressing fire yet. Alright. To melee range.
よろしくお願いします Delicately, this kimono is priceless.
Great, now I gotta deal with you animals. Yeah, we'll get there. Anyone wanna buy a gun? They're fully loaded.
At least this still hits hard because it's a melee ability. thing's evasion. It's gonna be hard to. Be easier to take this down. Alright.
You buying or dying? Try a free sample.
Okay, jumper, eh?
We done talking?
That somewhat reduced his ability to close. Alright.
Watch the hoe.
That's on cooldown, so.
Minor, damn it.
Indeed.
Is the magic of man.
So it wasn't enough mobility debuff to make him that immobile. His mobility is still 157. I buffed the heck out of it. With extra speed, that's not doing great. I think the best option is for the geisha to seduce an enemy, make their strength mine. I need Ricky back though.
Let's risk a little magic. I will wear the shirt.
Ah, the scrap. Special delivery. Mind the bleed. She's not built for speed. Ah, the scrap. Your luggage.
Where's now the towels? Use this.
Customer service.
Let's see. Your fillet.
Mothership is here. Oh, you're a good little buoy. What a pleasant stroll.
If I had somebody who could purge her debuffs. Alright. The transform is considered debuff, after all. I think Scoo hits very hard.
To the scrapyard.
She's the only character I have currently alive who does.
Who needs saving?
Oh, that fixes the transforms. Good. There we go. Now they pay. Importantly, each stability debuff makes this more likely to steal AP successfully. Of course, the power allows the attacks to hit harder. Just gonna need more than one turn to kill this, though.
Mind your manners. Now.
It's AP neutral at least, so might as well use it up.
Your manners. Use your words.
On you? No.
Excuse you. Use your words.
Uh,
Now.
The darkness will not rise.
all that, and it's still at half health. Destroy the attack drain. This thing is all out of replacement drones. That would actually. Except for the jack mines and bonus rockets. That would make it incapable of attacking further. Right.
Someone's fussy today.
Uh, This is just a damaging effect, which could be accompanied by this. Yeah, so just the towel fall back. Probably. No, that would increase the chances of them attacking goo. You could probably survive that, actually. Just get in its way, I guess.
お客様。お茶はいかがですか？
Let's see where this lunch break takes us. I don't need no instructions to know how to walk.
I'm not so sure about that, buddy.
Looking to unload some guns.
He's probably going to go around this way. Yeah. Stay out of range.
You buying or dying?
This jack mine line could hurt him. Like nagging
Try a fresh sip.
parent to toddlers. Except, my party are toddlers, and this isn't a car ride.
Dust you.
Now. If you can't behave, we're going home.
Yes, please do go home and leave me alone.
Turn the ship around.
Let's move some merch.
I'm gonna be captain someday.
It's probably as good as dead. I'm not gonna fuss over.
One small step. YOLO.
There's a storm on the horizon.
Hmm.
I still have faith in man. Manliness. I invite
Needs to use AP to be able to
Ah, so much suffering.
revive people. It's still on cooldown? Hmm.
Come with me if you want to live.
Excuse you. We're going home. How could you?
Dead. That did it.
Easier than the shooting range.
Easy? 2 people went down, and this is only the first fight of the system. What? Give that idea.
more firepower.
This is a great defensive ability if you have the air power to actually transform enemies. Which, no. No one really does. Wouldn't make it through enemy resistance. And Dragon Head would have been useful if I had equipment degradation happening. Like in the Halloween campaign, where you're going to have that unless you have the blacksmith charm. I often found myself having to switch out the starting equipment for whatever I came across that was remotely suitable for the campaign. So the quality would degrade over time and stuff. But for a sentry and party such as this, not necessary. Shield buoy. These aren't terrible, but it's air power based. If it was based on light power, it might be usable. I've been confused for many things, but occultist? Maybe it is the way you are dressed. I'm in a spacesuit. Space cultists wear spacesuits. A joke? A fact? Right.
Can I wear a different color shirt now?
Let's honor the dead by putting their gear to use.
Brock is slow and his abilities are expensive. If you were able to hang back and guard people.
Would it be possible if I could maybe have that?
It's actually a very useful ability. Stick with it.
I think it is. Oh, I had one of those in a holograph adventure once.
Speed initiative to the healer, so she can often go before that even the fastest enemies, and then give speed to other party members if they're barely behind the turn order, allowing them to go earlier. Yeah, let's check this out. Should say, I'll read this for those of you who the screen's too small. Scans suggest that the door is not within the big asteroid, but there must be a reason the miners are protecting it. Better check it out. If I hadn't been FOD, would have seen an asteroid they're messing around with. Shadows in the rock. Starship mines. Difficulty Ascension 37. You slip through a crack and pass into the rock. Artificial light floods the chamber ahead. Strange shadows dart about the mining equipment. You're ready to dismiss them as illusions caused by the light bouncing off the perlite embedded in the rock. Until they suddenly attack.
Hope I make a good first impression.
Remember these? Outwalkers. Vor. Outwalkers? What are these vile things doing out here in the middle of an asteroid field? Postulating causality is impossible with the data at hand. Fight first, science second. Oof, their power level is 5,822. Which means massive damage, armor pen. High evasion, but not quite insane defense levels that they get when they're even higher powered. Suicidal to get within melee of, but I could probably pick them off at a range. There's only 3 of them. Power level isn't insane despite the difficulty settings. Alright.
Time to exceed expectations.
I hate this. Customers always right.
I'm gonna be captain someday.
If you survive. Can't quite reach him, and Ricky, be prepared to shoot when they get closer.
It's your yen. Who needs saving?
Man at work.
I'm not used to all this darkness.
I'm just a merchant, honest. Oh, slinging guns is my business. You wanna buy a gun? They're fully loaded.
Positioning X aggressively because he can dodge back to stay out of their range, thankfully. As can the tell. Except he needs room to dodge back into.
Yokoso.
Behind the geisha, who can daze enemies who attack her, so that's good. Since the towel will, actually I'll just move to close and attack. Probably. Maybe after a turn. Put her a little further forward then.
Yeah. You look like you need supervision.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, it's my turn now. The elements do my bidding. That is a storm on the horizon. Time for some explosive action. The elements do my bidding.
Over the fort so that James might be able to ignite one of them when they get close. They are weak to fire. Alright. This is good party positioning, I think.
Time to put my training to the test.
Fights will get harder as they get deeper. These are the early, meant to be easier ones.
Feel my potential.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm watching.
He doesn't need the life stuff, but whatever. The haste increases the chance of him being able to use this after a shorter cooldown, so that's why I did that first. He gets haste from his that attack.
This is gonna look great on my resume.
Now we can use it after just one turn instead of two. He got a partial haste. And I can try and stun this even.
I'm good.
Should work.
I'm just a merchant, honest. These guns are going fast. Deal with it.
Ooh,
Number one, customer service.
probably kill this easy, and that'll be useful for 2 turns. Dead. Didn't even need to stun it. I'm not sure he could have one-turned it if he hadn't rolled that twice. Maybe if I look back at the video later, I'll figure out if he could have, but whatever.
Let's stretch those legs. That is my advantage. You're not gonna like this.
Maybe not.
Who needs saving?
Sanctify is still on cooldown. Healing up Brock, my tank. These things have incredible dart defense, so the dark part of Moonstrike is useless, but the light works. Some light reflects off the moon. moves back, it doesn't jump, I guess.
Lunch break takes us.
Oh, yeah, so it doesn't jump over barriers. Oh well. Stop this thing from closing and attacking again, at least.
We're doing this.
こんばんは、お客様。
I will wear the shirt.
These things are dangerous, Rickster. Incredibly so. How about you just let the red shirts do the fighting?
For this.
He won't lose the fight.
Oh boy.
If he gets too close, he could go down and then be only half health next fight. Or 60%, whatever it is.
I'm just a merchant, honest. Let's move some merch. What, you allergic to work or something?
So unless he has that double buff, he is pretty lethal.
We done talking? Try a free sip.
Ooh, dead's dead.
Skin it to win it. It ain't arrogance if it's truth.
And that red outline, if you guys see it, says there's a interactable, like a power-up on the map somewhere. Gotta go searching for it then. There? It's too much junk, I can't... Oh, there it is. Just a treasure chest. I walked by it before. Didn't even notice it. Alright.
I'm Merlin's beer.
Oh,
Do you know what this is?
rare find. Rest is junk, but that was useful.
The legend continues.
I'll keep it safe. Hey, it's my birthday. I'm looking for this.
After clearing out the mine, discover a small bounty of ferrocondite. Okay. It's a nice chunk of ferrocondite, but I still wonder how those shadow demons made it all the way out here. Outwalkers are interdimensional beings. It is difficult to say how the two dimensions are linked in space. Several light years in this universe may equate to a few steps in theirs. All that be required is another portal. Referring to versus the other planet. Is there anything else of value here versus, well, let's get out of here before something else comes through. Is there anything else of value here? Some of this mine equipment could have value if we had a practical way to transport it. What about all this pearlite slag? We can attempt to forge it into a small case of our dural in order to mask it from sensors. That's what I was thinking. Let's grab and go. And then the door lies further ahead. Time to weave through the gravel. But that will have to come in my next video. We've reached 100 minutes. The file size is going to make this slow to upload. So, until next time, this is Northstar signing off. Wish you all the best. Take care of each other. Go easy on yourselves. And may you always find the guiding star to lead you home.